So it is done. Capital One has completed its merger, buying Discover Financial Services for $35 billion. In this video, we're going to go through the deal and let you know what changes might be coming your way if you're a customer of either of these banks. We also have Amex losing one of its transfer partners, but then to make up for it, an easy way to get 40,000 Amex points, and some new info on the rumored changes to the Chase Sapphire Reserve at the end of the video too. Hey credit warriors, welcome to the show. My name is Ben Hedges, aka the Credit Shifu, and on this channel I cover US credit cards, personal finance, and luxury travel. If you like the sound of that, do subscribe. But let's get into it. And this video is brought to you by Silo, who are offering up to a $5,000 annual bonus for using their investing platform. But more on that later. All right, so on May 18th, the Capital One Discover merger went through. This was after many months of scrutiny from regulators. Does this mean that all of a sudden all Discover's cards are going to be rebranded as Capital One? Well, no. Capital One has a landing page where in a very long-winded way they say, no, nothing is changing right now. You can continue to use your card, your online banking login, your bank account as usual, except they address each question individually, and I read through the whole thing. Like literally they could have just put one sentence saying, nothing is changing for now, and be done with it. So basically they are keeping both companies. They do say the Discover brand and your Discover account are not going away, and that's not with like an asterisk and like, oh, until 2027 or something. No. It sounds pretty permanent. They are keeping Discover as a brand. But what I imagine they will do is merge some of their systems in the future, maybe have customer service reps that take calls for both companies' products to save on costs. However, the one thing we do know is probably happening is this, and it was first reported by the Wall Street Journal. The bank plans to switch at least some of its cards to the Discover network while continuing to use Visa and MasterCard on others. Those larger networks have more merchant acceptance abroad than Discover does. And I think that's one of those ones from people with knowledge of the situation, i.e. insider info. But this really does make sense. You see, Discover is both a bank and a credit card payment network. So it's one of the very few companies in the same position as American Express. Actually, in the US, it's probably the only other one apart from Amex, as both the issuing bank and the credit card payment network, okay? So they can earn money from both things. Amex doesn't use Visa or MasterCard, they're just their own thing, okay? And it's the same with Discover cards. The network is Discover. Such companies make money not only on the annual fees, interest charges, etc., but also on the merchant fees, since they are the processor and the bank. So if Capital One switches over some existing cards to the Discover network, it will make more profit on those cards because now it owns an issuer, right? So if Capital One switches over some of its existing cards to the Discover network, it will make more profit on those cards because Capital One now owns the Discover network. So which cards will change their payment network? Well, let me tell you what I think. Well, it's probably not going to be their high-tier travel cards like the Capital One Venture X, okay? You need that wider foreign acceptance of Visa and MasterCard. So I'm guessing it will be cards that Capital One expects people not to really use that much outside the US, like their Capital One Platinum Credit Builder card and their Secure cards. Maybe the Quicksilver also, which is pretty close to being an entry-level card too. Now, what about Discover? Any changes that we might see there? Well, Clint Henderson of The Points Guy said in an interview with News Nation that you could see Capital One as the larger company investing in Discover by increasing welcome bonuses on Discover cards. Maybe we could even see some new Discover products too. They hardly ever release new cards, to be honest, with Discover. They haven't released anything new for years. But for now, it will be business as usual. And certainly from a consumer point of view, you don't need to do anything. You still use your same login, pay your bill the same way, unless otherwise told sometime in the future. All right, let's now move on to some of the other topics that we're going to cover. Amex losing a transfer partner, and new clues in the ongoing Chase Sapphire Reserve refresh saga. But first, I love delivering great value to you guys, and that is why I have partnered with Silo, a company I personally have an account with, to bring you the opportunity to earn up to $5,000 per year. Interested? Keep listening. Silo is looking to disrupt the brokerage industry by becoming the first cashback investing platform. They saw all these other brokerages, not naming any names, giving out one-off deposit bonuses or free stocks worth like $2 each for new users, and they knew that they could do better. They will match all the money you have in your brokerage account, whether it is invested or sitting there as cash, by 1% every year for life, up to $5,000 per year in cashback. So let's say you invest in the S&P 500, which averages 8% per year. Well, now you have 9%. Or putting it in simpler terms, if you have $100,000 in a silo account in the S&P 500, it will on average get $8,000 in returns per year. Well, now you have $9,000. For this deal, there is a monthly fee that starts at $10 per month, but that means you only have to have an account size of $12,000 to offset that monthly fee completely. If you are a serious investor who is growing their portfolio over several decades, that extra 1% will literally add up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Silo allows you to buy US stocks, ETFs, and corporate and US government bonds. Investments are held with interactive brokers where your money is SIPC and FDIC insured. So if you want to earn up to $5,000 every year, use my link, silomarkets.com/Ben, also down below in the description section, and start earning today. So American Express is losing one of its transfer partners, and that would be Hawaiian Airlines. On the transfer page for Hawaiian right now, it says this: effective June 30th, 2025. The ability to transfer membership rewards points to Hawaiian Airlines Hawaiian Miles will no longer be available. Now, this also means that you have no way to transfer to Alaska Airlines now either. That has been an option since last year while Alaska and Hawaiian merge. You've been able to transfer points between the two, effectively giving Amex another transfer partner. Alaska is part of One World, and thus you can book flights on any One World airline, including American and British Airways, and the rates are pretty good, sometimes the best of any US airline, especially on US domestic and transatlantic business class. Now, this comes as Alaska is gearing up for the launch of a combined loyalty program that includes Alaska and Hawaiian, okay? It's kind of like the Air France KLM Flying Blue, all right? They have a shared program too. And this program is going to launch in August. Apparently, it is going to have a load of new features, but the program may end up losing the ability to transfer points to it from Amex and any other credit card. There is a quote from an Alaska vice president called Brett Catlin in a Points Guy article from last year where he says, "Our intent is not to have a transferable currency where guests can earn across competitor cards, to be totally honest. And when given the opportunity to kind of close that door, we will." This would be because Alaska has its own credit card, so they see it as advantageous to only allow people to collect Alaska points on their own cards. And this could be because they're so generous with their award fare rates that they need to get extra value from earning profit on their co-branded credit cards. Makes sense, right? They want to promote their own cards. So after Amex loses the ability to indirectly transfer to Alaska through Hawaiian, the only other program left will be Built, and that lets you transfer to Alaska at a 1-to-1 ratio. So in theory, that would end sometime in the future, although they may be bound by a contract to keep it going for a certain number of years. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens in August. And don't forget that date, June 30th, if you do want to make a transfer to Hawaiian or to Alaskan via Hawaiian, that's going to end, okay, on June 30th. All right, now for some positive Amex news. So it seems Amex referrals are back, or at least high-value Amex referrals anyway. There was recently an article in Miles to Memories. Amex cardholders can now earn up to 40,000 points per referral, YMMV. YMMV just means your mileage may vary, and this is because not everyone is targeted to receive 40,000 when they refer someone for an Amex card. My case in point, look at what I can get on my Amex Gold card for a referral. 15,000 points. But I haven't even been able to get anything for a referral on the Gold card for a year or more. So even this is a positive development for me, okay? It's probably because I maxed out my referrals, earning 100,000 points several years in a row, and so they didn't let me do referrals for a long time. So check your Amex account for your membership rewards earning cards like the Platinum, Gold, Green, etc. The annual limit though is 100,000. You max it out after 3 referrals. All right, lastly, we have a little clue as to the validity of recent claims that Chase is going to raise the annual fee and coupon bookify the Sapphire Reserve. We did a video about it recently. It looks like this. You can check it out after this video if you like. I'll put it on the end screen. But one of the things that they say will change is that the card will no longer offer 3 points per dollar on travel. Instead, opting to offer bonuses like 4 points per dollar on flights booked directly with airlines and 8 points per dollar on many types of travel bookings through the Chase travel portal. Now, Chase hasn't announced any of these benefits yet. It is all a rumor, but we now have a photo of a page from a recent travel magazine. I'm not sure if it's Chase's own magazine or a Chase ad in another magazine, but anyway, it omits the 3x on travel, talking only about 3x on dining. So this could mean that Chase is kind of playing down that benefit right now so as to not disappoint people when it does go away, if these rumors are true. I'll leave that one for you guys to think about. All right, that is the video for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to earn up to $5,000 bonus every year with Silo. Link is in the description down below. Please subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.